Have you ever had a brilliant idea just get ignored, only to watch someone else get credit for a similar idea later on? Or maybe you felt a sudden cold shoulder from your boss right after you pulled off a huge success? I'm telling you, it is not your imagination. You might be breaking the very first and maybe the most dangerous law of power, and you probably don't even know it. Seriously, think about this. What if your greatest assets, your intelligence, your creativity, your drive, are actually being seen as threats, not gifts? What if your genuine desire to impress is accidentally making the very people you need on your side afraid of you? See, in the whole game of power, there are these unwritten rules, and the very first law is one that ambitious, talented people break all the time with absolutely disastrous results. It's like a hidden trap, and today we're going to learn how to see it, and more importantly, how to avoid it. Okay, law number 1. Now, this isn't about hiding your talent or playing dumb, not at all. It's about being strategic. The whole idea is to make those above you feel comfortably superior. Your brilliance shouldn't cast a shadow on them. It should be the light that makes them shine even brighter. And here's the psychological twist. You put in the hard work, you get amazing results, and you expect gratitude, right? But what you often get back is fear and insecurity. Why? Because when you shine too brightly, you cast a shadow. And trust me, leaders never want to feel like they're standing in yours. So what makes this law so potent? Well, because this isn't about office politics, really. It's about raw human psychology. It taps directly into the fragile ego and the deep insecurities that drive all of us, especially people who have fought their way into positions of power. Here's the simple truth. No matter how powerful or confident someone seems on the outside, they have insecurities. They worry about their position, their competence, their legacy. Your unchecked talent can feel like a harsh spotlight on all those hidden anxieties, and people will do almost anything to turn that spotlight off. And this creates this toxic emotional cocktail inside of them. When you outshine the master, you're not just an inconvenience. You become an existential threat. They start to resent your talent, they envy your gifts, and most importantly, they begin to fear that you're coming for their spot. This quote just nails the mindset perfectly. Think of people in power as modern-day kings and queens. What do they crave above all else? Security. They fought hard to get their throne, and any threat to it, even an unintentional one from a talented subordinate, is going to be neutralized, and often ruthlessly. You know, nothing illustrates a law of power better than a good story from history. So let's look at a tale of two courtiers, one who got this law right and soared, and another who broke it and paid the ultimate price. So on one side, we have Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister to the famous Sun King, Louis XIV. His goal was simple: impress the king. On the other side, we have the legendary astronomer Galileo Galilei. His goal was very different: to glorify his patrons. Two absolute geniuses, but two very different strategies. Let's see how it all went down. So Fouquet, to honor the king, throws the most spectacular, lavish party France has ever seen. Just one problem: it was better than any party the king himself had ever thrown. King Louis wasn't impressed. He was deeply insulted. He felt completely outshone. The very next morning, Fouquet was arrested and spent the rest of his life in prison. A fatal, fatal miscalculation. Now compare that to Galileo. He makes a monumental discovery: the moons of Jupiter. Does he name them after himself? No way! He names them the Medicean stars, after his wealthy patrons, the Medici family. He literally tied their family name to the heavens for all eternity. He didn't outshine his masters, he made them shine. The result? A lifetime of funding, security, and prestige. Okay, so how do we take this ancient wisdom and actually use it today, in our world of offices and Zoom calls? How do you use your amazing talents without making yourself a target? It's a delicate art, but it is one that can be mastered. Here are 4 really subtle strategies. First, publicly credit your best ideas to your boss. You can frame it like you're just building on their original insight. Second, ask for their advice, even if you don't really need it. It shows respect and it makes them feel important. And finally, and this is a good one, don't be afraid to make a small, harmless mistake now and then. It makes you seem less perfect, more human, and way less of a threat. And here's the great paradox of this law. It feels like you're giving up power, but what you're actually doing is gaining it. By carefully managing your superior's ego, you go from being a threat to being an indispensable ally. You're no longer a victim of their insecurity, you're the architect of their comfort. And that, my friends, gives you immense, unseen control. But
Like any rule in the complex game of power, there are exceptions. There are specific moments when you must break this law. And knowing when to do that, well, that's the master move. So, does this mean you always have to stand the shadows? Absolutely not. Power is never static. It's always shifting. And sometimes, the most strategic move you can make is to shine as brightly as you possibly can. The key is to accurately gauge your master's real power. If their position is weak, if their influence is fading, if they are a falling star, then there is nothing to fear from outshining them. In fact, you might have to, just to make sure your own fate isn't tied to their downward spiral. But you have to be certain about this. If their position is truly crumbling, you can start to assert your brilliance. But if they're still secure in their seat, be patient. Bide your time. Power is almost always temporary. If you can play the long game, their reign will eventually end, and you'll be perfectly positioned to rise. Let's end on this powerful warning from the philosopher Balthasar Gracian. It's really the final word on this law. Misjudging this dynamic isn't just a simple mistake. It can be fatal to your ambitions. So the final question you should ask yourself is this: are you consciously playing the game of power, or is it unconsciously playing you?